All right, I think let's get started. Hold on a second. I'm just getting everything situated. Okay. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream. My name is Taylor Arndt, and I am very excited that we're doing another one of these live streams. I really have enjoyed using Twitch and all the tools that it gives me. It's a really cool platform, and this is going to be a little bit different. We're actually not going to be doing a code along today. I'm going to be teaching you guys a skill. So we're going to be doing WordPress plugin development. How do I know how to do WordPress plugin development? Well, I've been doing WordPress development since, maybe about September. Michael, if you can correct me in chat, can you remember? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I remember why I started. I started because one of our form plugins, it's called Gravity Forms. It is a form plugin that is very popular, and it is where you could make forms for your website and you could do all sorts of things with them. Unfortunately, blind screen reader users like myself can't reorder forms. And unfortunately, what that means is that if I want to reorder a field, let's say I have name and then I need email first, I'd have to go get sighted help. Isn't that a little annoying when you pay a bunch of money for this plugin every year? Yeah, that's what I thought too. And I decided, why not take on a challenge? Because after all, what could happen? Well, I wouldn't be able to do it. But, I didn't believe in failure, and I still don't believe in failure, and so I just gave it a good try. And I was very impressed with myself. So how did I learn? I learned using ChatGPT and the WordPress Developer's Handbook. And probably within about 2 or 3 weeks, I had a working version ready to test. And I'm sure probably about in October, November, it was ready to launch. Ever since then, I've been doing some WordPress plugin development. I've made, how many plugins? Let's see. I made one for displaying basically where the RSS feed can display like the featured image. We use this in the iAccessibility app. I've made one to have all the latest posts on a website be headings, because by default they're not. I have made one that is, let's see. Oh, I made one that is a WP declutter and also a WP fast logout. So I've been around the block a couple times, even though I've been doing WordPress development for only 6 months. And I hope that by the time you guys are done today, you'll have an understanding of how WordPress development works. Why are WordPress plugins so important? Well, that's a good question. WordPress plugins allow you to extend the functionality of WordPress without having to code. Well, except if you want to make your own. For example, let's say I want to add a form plugin. Well, I can go add the form plugin. What you're doing is you're basically adding an extension to your WordPress site, right? WordPress on its own is very bare, okay? And these plugins help you to add more features to your website, so it'll be more feature filled and not just like a simple blog, right? Because that's what WordPress was, right? It was a simple blog. But because of all these plugins, it can be a full-featured company website and more. And so WordPress plugins are essential for adding functionality. And the other thing too is that we're not touching the core code, right? So let's say that I wanted to build a plugin, or let's say I wanted to build a modification. Now, if I didn't know WordPress plugin development, I was thinking, well, I could go to the core for the WordPress. I could fork the WordPress core and try to deal with all that. Basically, forking means that I'm trying to make a copy of the WordPress core. Then I'm going to try to add changes to that. And then I'm going to try to, oh my goodness, just don't even get my head spinning about that. That causes many issues. Let's go over a couple of them. One, if you make a copy of the WordPress core and it updates, well, it looks like you're going to be in hot water for the rest of your life because you're going to have to try to keep up with the WordPress team. Nope, that's not a battle I want to fight. The other thing is, too, is that if I have the WordPress core being forked, I have to maintain everything. And if there's security vulnerabilities, holy cow, you're starting to get into some deep territory there. Long story short, modifying the core, just don't even try to do it unless you're helping the WordPress team. But if you're trying to add something specific to the WordPress core, just don't do it. Make a plugin. Plugins are there to help us do these kind of things without having to modify the core. Now, I want to explain something else real quick. Let's say you're making a theme. So remember, themes help to add visual functionality and style to your WordPress sites. Let's say, for example, I'm going to take you, Michael, so don't, I'm using you as a guinea pig here. I live with Michael, so we like to mess around with things like that. So Michael had this RSS thing that he had as a generate press child theme. And, oh wait, my battery is going to die. Crap. All right, anyways. He had it as a generate press child theme, which generate press is the theme that we all like to use. Unfortunately, whenever generate press updated, well, that code was gone. So child themes basically help to customize it without, overriding the other theme. The problem is, if you wanted to use those changes that Michael made, you had to download the child theme. Oh no, that's not what I'm about. I'd rather just go grab the plugin than have to re-download an entirely new theme. So, long story short, plugins help to add functionality that you want to extend your website that, something else cannot do. All right, I've talked about plugins long enough. You guys should understand what they do now. Put in chat if you don't understand and you have questions. Let's try to move on. Let's see what else we have here. So we've talked about what our WordPress plugin. Oh boy. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. This is not working for me real quick. Now let's talk about setting up a development environment. All right, so before we talk about that, let's talk about how WordPress plugins are built. Like, we need to get to the foundational core here, right? So, WordPress plugins. They're built in a language called PHP. I know. You're thinking, PHP is not secure. PHP, blah, 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 blah. Well, whatever you think about PHP, unfortunately, folks, is the language of WordPress, and that means that you gotta live with it, or, well, don't live with it. PHP is a pretty good language. It's, known for not being the most secure, unless you like different frameworks like Laravel and other things. But PHP is how it runs. So, long story short, you gotta get out your PHP chops if you want to learn WordPress development. Don't worry, I'm going to be showing you some basics today. So if you're thinking, this is too complicated, I'm going to get off this stream right now. Don't get off this stream right now. Of course, you can if you need to. But stick around because you're going to learn exactly what you need to know. Oh, excuse me. You're going to learn exactly what you need to know in order to get your WordPress plugin up today. And it'll just say hello world. It won't be that spectacular. It won't change the world overnight. But at least they'll give you a great start. Trust me, this is where I started, and that's why I'm teaching you how to start where I started so that you can build yourself up to where I am currently at now. All right, so long story short, we need PHP. All right, so we understand that PHP is the language of WordPress. Now, how the heck are we going to develop WordPress plugins? Well, let's talk about the most common ways. One, you could go ahead and put up a live site at, maybe testing.techopolis.app. Again, I use Techopolis because that's the company I work for. Shameless plug. You can go check out techopolis.online, see all our services. And Techopolis, we don't want to develop live plugins on the Techopolis website. Look, let me paint a picture. Okay, so I wrote my Hello World plugin and I've got an error. And that error says that I've crashed the website. Well, I didn't crash the website. I just had a misplaced brace. The thing is, folks, I'm trying to demonstrate something here. You don't, and I repeat, you don't want to develop on a live site. First of all, you could have, if you're doing it on production, you could have loss of data if you're developing. You could also have downtime because you made an error, right? You could also have unhappy customers and, well, a broken website that may not be repairable. All right, well, that's a bunch of doom and gloom, and of course, I've learned my lesson the hard way. I did develop on a live site, and I'm never, ever doing that again. Trust me. Don't do it because you will regret it. It is a painful process and it is just awful, right? Because you may override something or it may not work properly. So don't develop on a live site. All right, so what should you do then? Well, you should use something called local environment. So what the heck is a local environment? A local environment allows you to develop WordPress websites locally, aka on your machine, and there is specific tools that you can use. Now, let me go over a couple of the most popular ones, and I'm going to be talking about the one that I personally use, and well, I've got all my friends to switch to, including Michael. So, you can always go with the XAMPP, I don't even know what the heck it stands for, because I've never used it in like 3 years, so that shows how out of touch I am with that. XAMPP. You can also use WAMP. I think these are like all Apache, MySQL, things like that. You can also use other things like Herd, and I think there's a couple others. Well, let's talk about what the problem with those are. You got to make your database from scratch. Now, I'm not an SQL wizard, and I don't claim to be an SQL wizard. In fact, when I have to write SQL, which is basically the database language for writing PHP and making database tables, I have my little AI friend help me with it. I'm not going to admit here that I am not an SQL wizard. I'm still learning it, but I can't wrap my head around it. So, long story short, I don't want to create these databases by hand. Gosh, no. Especially if I'm making a bunch of websites per day. Well, not that I am, but let's say I am. So, there has to be a better solution, right? Oh, yes, there is a better solution, and it's called Local by Flywheel. Flywheel is a hosting company that's well renowned, and I think it actually now got bought by, what's it called? WP Engine. Thank you. All right. Got bought by WP Engine. And WP Engine is a WordPress hosting platform company. It's been around for a while, and it's a managed WordPress hosting. And they are very well world-renowned for their amazing service. I've actually used them on a client project for my old employer, and it was amazing. So, anyways, not sponsored, but I just thought I'd mention that. So, that is actually made by them, and then I think it got sold to Delicious Brains, which makes a plugin called ACF, Advanced Custom Fields, which basically allows you to have a bunch of superpowers in your WordPress admin. I'm not even going to try to explain that all yet, because you guys need to learn some fundamentals. Long story short, it got sold, and now it's made by a company called Delicious Brains, which is interesting. And yeah, so Local by Flywheel. I'm not actually going to download it today because I already have it. And basically, once you go ahead and download it, you're going to select your architecture, whether if it's Windows or Mac, and then you're going to go ahead and download it. I will note for assistive technology users, though, there are a couple inaccessible dialogues, and they don't trap your keyboard focus, so you'll kind of have to play the little tabbing game to try to find the dialogue you're looking for. However, if you can't find it, maybe if you need to use Ira or other visual interpretation services, or just keep tabbing around. It's really annoying when developers don't add the proper ARIA. Just don't even get me started. I'm an accessibility tester, so we all know how that all goes. When you don't add ARIA, it basically makes your dialogues not focusable by keyboards. So, accessibility rant is over. So, long story short, you'll have to download that, and then you'll create an account. Probably do that first, and then you'll have Local by Flywheel. You don't have to create an account, but if you don't get access to certain features like live links, which allow you to share a link with somebody else. We do this all the time with Michael. I share a live link to a site I'm working on my local computer, and he can view it from, the other side of the room. Of course, we're in the same house, but you could do this otherwise. Like, we had a friend that we viewed the live link, and we shared it to them. And you just enter a password, and you can see the entire website. So, it's a cool feature. I think there's also some backup functionality. Michael, to answer your question earlier when you were talking about backups, it does have backup functionality local. So just keep that in mind. I think it does. You may have to enable it, but always enable backups for your dev sites, especially if it's mission critical and you're going to back up your database, for crying out loud. So, long story short, I use Local by Flywheel. It's a really great site and tool because, one, it's accessible. We always love that around here. Number two, you don't have to create the databases by hand. Oh yeah, that's another plus. And three, it is very, very user-friendly. I can get a WordPress website up in about 2 minutes. Like I said, I switched all my friends and all my other WordPress developer friends to Local by Flywheel, so it just shows how amazing this tool is. Now, we talked a lot about that, so go ahead and pause the video, stream, whatever, and go ahead and download Local by Flywheel. Once you get it downloaded, we'll continue with the stream and video, whatever the heck you're watching it on. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and download that. Like I said, I'm not going to show the process. It's pretty easy. I will link a link in the description below where you can download Local by Flywheel. And it is a pretty easy installation process. But I'm just going to wait a couple minutes, a couple seconds here. Let's see what chat has to say. Any words from chat? Let me go ahead and see here. I'm going to unplug this real quick. All right, let's see what chat has to say, if anything. Well, I guess it has to say that I don't have speech on my computer. Lovely. All right, let's see. Chat, what do they have to say? Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Oh, hold on a second. Okay. So let's see. All right, so you guys have downloaded Local, haven't you? I hope so, because we're going to be using it in just a second here. So we're going to switch into our next part of the stream where we're going to actually get to coding. I know, right? I told you you'd have a plugin by the end of the day, and I was not kidding. So we're going to be making a Hello World plugin, and I'm going to be showing you guys all the code. The code's going to be on GitHub, so just if you want to follow along after the fact, I'm going to have the code on GitHub. Once I figure out a couple logistics, I'm going to try to have the code beforehand I'm going to use, but today I need to figure out some logistics. So I need to, let's see, hold on. We're going to do a couple things real quick. I'm just going to make sure I didn't miss any notes here. All right, let's build it. So let's talk about how PHP, I keep saying PHP plugins, WordPress plugins are structured. There are three main parts, or at least a couple main parts, maybe 2 or 3 or 4. Well, depending on what plugin you're building. But in a normal plugin, first you have the main files. So, important note here, folks. 1, if you want to have a WordPress plugin name, for example, the file name, and it wants to be 2 words, for example, hello world. You don't want to put hello space world. So in PHP, it's customary to do hello-world.php. And the thing is that the main plugin file will be the name of the WordPress plugin. All right, let me repeat that again. The main the main PHP file will be the name that shows in your WordPress dashboard as the main plugin name. For example, let's say that I have a plugin that is named Taylor's Hello World, but then in my Hello World folder, my actual name of the plugin in the the actual name of the file that controls Taylor's Hello World is just called Hello World. Well, folks, it's not even going to show Taylor's Hello World. It's just going to show Hello World. So what that means is make sure you name the files according to what the plugin needs to be called, okay? So let's take another example. Let's say that I'm making a plugin called, I don't know, let's see, I don't know, OpenAI something, WP OpenAI. All right, great. I don't want to call it OpenAI.php because it'll be called OpenAI. So I want to call it WP-OpenAI.php because remember, it has to be the exact file name that you want your plugin to be. All right. So it has to be WP, whatever. That's very important to keep in mind. And also the plugin name. So I'm going to go show you a header. And that has to match the file name as well. Again, you don't have to do this, but I dare you to try this and see what happens because I want you guys to experiment. Look, problem solving is super, super important. And if I say something, always fact check me, right? Because yes, everybody is human and we might not always be right, but I want you guys to learn as well. So make sure that you understand how this all works. Okay, so again, you want to make sure the name of the plugin is the exact name you want to show for your users and that you match the file to show that. All right. So, we begin our plugins with a standard header. And let's go ahead and go over this before we actually create the plugin. All right, so the standard header. All right. Now, what's the purpose of the header? The purpose of the header is to give WordPress a metadata that it can help to understand and decode the plugin. All right, so I'm going to go through it line by line, and then we're actually going to go through it again once we make the plugin. All right, this is kind of a gentle introduction. So, first, you always have your less PHP tags. Now, I'm purposefully, by the way, not showing my screen just yet. All right, because right now I'm just doing a verbal introduction. So, less question PHP is the main PHP tag. Always, 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 always have this in your code. All right, if you don't, you're going to get a code vomit on your front page of your plugin. And I'm going to show you what code vomit is in a minute. But basically, code vomit is when all your code is being spewed onto the front end because you never opened your PHP tags. Don't do it. I do it every day because I forget to open my PHP tags. It looks ugly. But again, I want to show that to you so you guys know what it looks like. All right, now we have / ***. So this is like what's called a comment, right? So it's a multi-line comment. We're going to go ahead and add different things to our plugins. Now, remember, comments don't show to PHP. PHP does not give a crap about the comments. It is ignored. All right, so comments basically are notes to yourself or notes to others. Plugin name, hello world, right? So that's the plugin name of the plugin. Simple. Description displays a hello world name on the site. Remember, these are all prefixed with asterisks. Star version 1.0. We're going to change that later. Star author, asterisk author. Remember, author is your name. Don't say your name because I had ChatGPT make a little template. But don't just put your name. You want to put your company name or whatever, right? I might put Talent, or if I'm working for Techopolis, I'll put Techopolis Online Solutions. Either way, it's the name of the organization or the individual that is the author. All right, that's the end of a basic header. Now, in a more production-ready plugin, you'll have like the license and all that kind of thing, but we're not worrying about that just yet. All right, everyone. Well, it is the moment we've been waiting for. Let's go ahead and get into some code. All right. So, let's do this. All right. Okay. Let's go ahead and get into the code and let's see. So, I think what we're going to do, I'm sharing my screen, right? Everybody see my screen? Put in chat if you see my screen. All right. Hold on a second. Local. So, what we're going to actually do is I'm going to show you how to create a website from scratch. Excuse me. I want to do this the way I can be able to show you guys what you need to do. Now, remember, I'm not sharing my screen reader right now just because of the issues on one of the other platforms that I will not name. All right, so, but I'm going to explain everything I'm doing. So we're going to, hold on. Just a second. I don't know how to create a new site. Oh my goodness, hold on. Oh. All right, so go up to the top. It's like a navigation menu and it says add local site. You're going to press enter. All right, you're pressing enter on here. Okay, now, hold on. Create a new site. You could also create from a blueprint. And then you could also import a zip. All right, now we're going to add the site name. I'm going to call this, what am I going to call this? Let's see, plugin dev. Okay. The cool thing about local, folks, is you can control what version of PHP, what version of MySQL, well version of everything that you need to use, right? So it's very versatile. And you can also switch between versions and like Nginx or Apache, right? So it's very, very versatile. It is absolutely my favorite way to make WordPress sites. I keep saying that, but I just want to make sure you guys understand. I'm going to hit continue. Again, you can always look at the advanced options, but for this time, I don't really want to do that. I'm going to hit preferred. You could also do a customized environment, but again, I don't care to do that at this point. Okay. Now, let's see, here's a WordPress username. So remember, this is something you gotta keep in mind. Here's the thing though. If you're doing a local environment, you could always have the password as like, I don't know, hackme123. I swear, I've seen this password before. Hackme123. What a great password. Any cybersecurity expert would be like, ooh, that's a terrible password. Oh, I totally agree. It's a terrible password. Just don't use it. Make up something that's actually secure. Remember, you want to have one special character, or two's better. A couple numbers, one uppercase letter. You want to make sure it's mixed up. Of course, for security reasons, I am not going to share my password for this site. In fact, I'm going to stop the screen share in just a minute here. And I'm going to show you guys what to do first. And then I'm going to go ahead and go ahead and look at this and finish the site. But I think, let me check our time. Hold on a second. All right, I think what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead. I think this is actually a good time for a little bit of a break, about 5 minutes, just because I want to enter in the password and do that kind of thing. What I want you to do is follow the prompts on screen here and go ahead and create the site. Like I said, I'm going to do the same thing. But let's take a quick, maybe 5 to 7 minute break just to get refreshed and get ready. Normally I take them at the top of the hour, but we happen to be at a good breaking point. And I just want to make sure that you guys can create the site, and then we'll go ahead and make the plugin and we'll call it a day. All right, I'm going to go take a little break and make the website real quick. Oh. Hold on. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. All right, everyone, I trust that you have your installation set up. If you had an issue where it says you needed to get some Microsoft redistributable stuff, well, you're not alone, because I had that happen when I added my new site. So what I ended up doing is I somehow got around it. I had to escape out of the dialogue, and that was a little bit of a fun thing. Also, make sure you didn't use hackme123 as your password, and don't blame me if it gets hacked if you did do that, because I told you not to use hackme123. All right, or any insecure password. So, long story short, I don't give security advice, okay? I'm just saying. But anyways, I trust that you have your website. Now, we need to log into this thing, and what we're actually going to do is I'm going to show you my workflow. Yes, my exact workflow, folks, for how I work on plugins, basically 8 hours a day these days, and how I make sure that I can add new versions and things like that. But wait, you're getting ahead of yourself. Yeah, that's right. I'm definitely getting ahead of myself. Look, WordPress plugin development is hard. And I'm going to show you a couple things why it's hard. And sometimes it's frustrating. But with tools like Local, it's a piece of cake. All right. So I just want to make sure I gave you guys stragglers a little bit more time to get your act together. But look, this is a real deal, and we need to get to it, because I don't have as much time as, the state of Texas does to try to get everything done. I mean, I'm kidding, right? What I'm trying to say is that I'm trying to get this done faster and get this done so you guys can learn without all this fluff. So, I don't know. What's like I said, I like to try to get things done in a quick way and practical so that you guys can have a plugin that works. And yeah, that's kind of what I like to do. So let's go ahead and share the screen. Again, make sure you have your site done, because I'm sure some of you don't. All right. I've started my screen share. Oh boy, I lost focus. Hold on. All right, folks. So let's try out our sites. Remember, what we need to do is, let me go to my browser. Hold on. We need to go into, oh my God, did I remember what I called my site? No, hold on. All right, so I'm going to go to, so you might be like plugin.local. Uh-oh, I don't remember what my site's called, folks. Uh-oh, hold on. I am teaching this class and I can't even remember what I called my site. What is up with me? Oh boy. Oh crap, it's still having a problem. Well, it looks like, folks, you're going to get to see my live development server with, all my plugins that you should never get to see yet. In other words, you're going to get to see the plugins that, well, nobody knows about, except for me. So have fun, and don't tell everybody you know. Or actually, yeah, maybe you should tell everybody you know so that they come into the Techopolis store. Oh, yeah, by the way, all my plugins are under this great company called Techopolis. Shameless plug. Gotta go check out their products. Because, it's amazing. And, well, I've got a lot of cool plugins coming out. And you're just going to be amazed. And, well, by the time you're done with my plugin lessons, you will be able to hopefully make all the same plugins. Who knows, maybe better than I can. And you could also make a lot more plugins to help make a difference. All right, let's go to my local development site, because apparently my plugin dev site has decided it does not want to cooperate. We don't have time for that around here. So let's open up the real site. All right, dev.local. Remember, replace that with actually your website. I'm already logged in because I've been using the site the entire day. All right, so we understand how that works. What we have done is we went to our site. You probably logged in with your strong password that I told you to make. And here we are on the dashboard. So here's what we need to do. In order to make a plugin, we need to go ahead and make a new folder into our WP content folder. So let's watch and see how this is done. First, hold on a second. Hold on, let me go back. I don't know what's up with this other site. That's annoying. when I need it to work. All right. I'm going to go to open the site folder. So what you're going to do is open the site folder. All right, hold on. Let's see. Uh-oh. Great. Lightning error? Seriously, local? Oh my god. Can you just, like, get out of here? Okay. I don't need any lightning errors. Like, that's just like a lightning port being defective on an iPhone. Don't need it. Alright. So you're going to go to apps. Remember, you open up your site shell or your site folder. You can also open up your site shell. Pro tip. If you want to use Composer, which I'm going to get into later, or you want to use what's called the WP CLI to do commands in WordPress, if you don't have that installed on Windows because, well, Windows is lame and doesn't make it easy to install, come on, Microsoft. Let's get that together. Yeah, you can use a Windows subsystem for Linux, but look, who has the time to set that up and try to make it work with WordPress? Oh, I don't. I mean, maybe if I had an unlimited amount of time, if I was like a time traveler, I would, but look, it's still the 21st century and I can't have 25 hours in my day. So, long story short, I don't have time to do that. And, it's just a pain. So, I have to try to use the local by Flywheel shell, which I just discovered you can go ahead and get in there and you can use WP CLI commands to run your WordPress site only using the terminal. That'll be an entirely different discussion. So, if you want to go on that tangent, that's great. But I'm not going to go much into that today. So keep asking your questions and I'll save them for another day. So I have gone into public. And we're going to go to WP-content. Plugins. Now, these are all the plugins that you have installed on your site. If you made a new site today, you're probably going to have 0, 0, 0. Kidding. Just 1 0. But I have a million plugins because, look, this is my dev site for the entire day. This is how I make my plugins. And yeah. So I'm going to go ahead and make a new folder. I'm going to call it, hold on. All right. I'm going to call it hello dash. Remember, right now I've made a folder, right? So I made a folder. Now, the other thing too is you're going to need a great text editor. I'm sorry, you can use Notepad if you really want to, or some other text editor, or if you want to use Vim. I don't care. What I care is that you like the text editor and you can use it. This is not a text editor tutorial. If you want to know how to use VS Code, oh boy, I've got plenty of videos on how to do that. I've got my 2024 VS Code complete tutorial you can find on YouTube. I really do, so you need to go look at that if you want to use a text editor. Or you could just use Notepad for today. Maybe go watch my awesome tutorial before our next lesson so that you can be a better developer. I don't care what you do, but you need a good text editor. And I'm sorry, Word and Pages and all these other things are not cutting it, folks. They are not text editors, and they will not have you write code. It will not work, so just don't even try it, because I know people will tell you to, but it won't work. It just won't work. You're not going to get anywhere. You're probably going to get as frustrated, and then you're going to give up. Look, don't give up. Just don't even go there, all right? So, long story short, I made a folder. Did I? Yeah. I made a folder. We need to open that in VS Code. Make sure that you go ahead and enable the option to open with VS Code. I'm going to go to my applications key. I got to make sure it's selected. Hold on. Show more options. Open with code. All right. I opened up my VS Code. It's saying that I should use my AI black box chat bot. I've never played with it. I don't know why I installed it. All right, anyways. Control N for new file, please. Control N. I'm going to call this hello. Remember, did you remember what I said about the other file, right? You remember? Or you just forgot all your knowledge before the break? Remember, you got to make sure it's the same name for the file or the plugin that you want to create, okay? So it needs to be hello world .php in that exact order. If you want to call it Tay's Hello World. I almost said Tay. That would have been embarrassing. By the way, that is well, I'm not even going to get into that. If Michael wants to spoil the beans in the chat, he can. But I'm not going to expose myself to that. Actually, you know what? You could look up my old Apple Viz profile and see what I'm talking about. But you know what? Let's just move on from that because that was kind of an embarrassment. I don't know why I said that. All right, here we go. And of course, NVDA wants to be kind of a pain and lose focus because it does not know what it's doing with this new version of Electron. Microsoft, come on, get it together. So we're going to go restart NVDA like we gotta do 5 times a day. Lovely, lovely. Alright, NVDA is sorted out. Thank God. Alright, remember, so we've created a hello world PHP. So now we need to make our header. Alright, header. Remember, what is the header? Well, it allows us to declare metadata for our plugin. So we're going to do slash. Hold on. No. Oh, what did I forget? The PHP tags. Oh, boy. Hold on. I told you I forgot these PHP tags. Didn't I warn you before the break? And yet I forgot my PHP tags. Oh, yeah. That's amazing. Look, this is what happens to me about 9 o'clock at night. All right. Anyways, we're going to do slash. All right. So let's go over this header. Now I just pressed /star and it actually generated it in VS Code for me, which is pretty cool. So again, you could do this manually, which I recommend, but for the sake of time, because nobody has unlimited time in the day, I wanted to actually generate it first and then show you guys how it's done. So let's look at the code. /star. Plugin name, hello world. A simple hello world plugin. Version 1.0, always change this to 0.0. I don't recommend starting with 1.0. Author. Hold on. Just a second. Hold on. Oh, I didn't do it. Well, lovely. Well, it's okay because I have it in my Word document. Hold on, let me find my Word document. I have all the code I needed in here, so hold on. Just a second. All right. // I need to make sure I get all this code. Look, this is boilerplate, and I always recommend just copying and pasting this because I don't want to just forget any of this code, right? It's very important that we make sure that we keep all this code together, right? So I just recommend copying and pasting the header. It's a very important part of the plugin, and trust me, I forgot it before, and oh boy, is that ugly. WordPress is like, oh, that's not a plugin at all, right? And it's like, oh. So we're going to change this author your name. I'm just going to slap Taylor Art on here. All right, very simple. All right. So what we've done, let me explain what we've done. So we've created a header for a function. Remember, for a function? What the heck am I saying? We've created a header for our plugin and function. Unrelated. Remember, what this means is we want to make sure that this is going to be interpreted correctly with WordPress, right? WordPress will not work if this header is not present. In fact, it will say, we don't like you anymore, so you're out of our castle. WordPress is very particular about how it wants its formatting done. Okay? You must have this header or else consequences will accrue. Oh boy, our battery's gonna be dead. I should have plugged it in during break, but what was I thinking? Oh, I was thinking about doing this password thing. Alright, let me do a quick plug-in. Maybe. Hold on. Only chord I have in here is the chord for my studio to play, and that's going to make my sound go a little crackle, crackle, pop. So let me see what I can do about that. Hold on. Well. Ew, this is really slow speech. Ugh. Hold on. I can't deal with this. This is intolerable. Ugh. Alright, hold on. Let me take this off. We may have to figure this out later. Alright, so it's going to actually be a simple plugin. So we're almost done with Stream, believe it or not. So, alright. Hold on. Hold on, I'm lost focus. Hold on. NVIDIA, we're... crap. Hold on. The NVDA gods hate me today. Alright, so what we've done is we've created a header for our VS Code. VS Code, what am I doing today? Alright, our WordPress plugin. First I'm thinking we're doing a function. Now I'm thinking we're doing VS Code. What has gone on in my brain? I guess all this studio display crackle pop has decided to have an effect on me. I don't know what's going on. Alright, so, also remember indentation is key. We're talking about that later. So now what we're going to do is we're going to define a function. Hold on. So, what is a function? Well, in layman's terms, a function helps you to make sure that you can write code once and repeat it multiple times. Let's say that you're making a calculator and you have the function add numbers, left paren, 1, 2, right paren. Well, it will allow you to say add numbers, right? It'll allow you to repeat it multiple times. In this case, what we're going to be doing, we're going to say hello world. So I could say hello world on every page if I wanted. And that's why we're making a function. So the way we're going to do this is I'm going to show you how to make a function. It's going to be something like, hold on. Function, PHP, function, right? Hello. Hold on. Hello, underscore, remember camel case, world. Left paren, right paren, right? So it's just like Python. Oh, lovely. It's just like Python, except that it's not def, it's just the word function. All right, it's just using braces instead of indentation. So we have hello underscore world, left paren, right paren, and then we open up a pair of braces. Echo hello world. So echo is like a print statement in function or console log in JavaScript. Hello world, exclamation mark. All right, now we need to do one more thing. Okay, so we need to add it to the footer or the header. We're going to use what's called an action hook. Action hook basically says, okay, we need to insert this code or this text dynamically in the page. And it responds to an action. For example, if a new page is created, well, send an email. Or if a new post is created, send an email. In this case, once a page is created, right, insert this into the footer. I'm glad I have my sample code with me because I'm like, I don't remember what I did. All right, let's review this real quick. So it's WP underscore footer. All right, so I could say WP underscore header, right? So let me explain this real quick. Hold on a second. I'm trying to have a race against time before the battery decides to go. So hold on. Add WP underscore header. Remember, this will insert into the header. Hold on. It's not working. Hold on. Let me check out my code here. So, Remember, it's hello world. So first it has like 2 arguments, right? WP underscore footer and then the function name hello underscore world. All right, so we've created this function. Everything looks good. The plugin is good. What do we do now? Well, we need to run this thing. But wait. But I have to do all the zipping and unzipping and all that stuff. No, you don't. Look. You can actually save the file and then activate it and then rerun it with local. Look how easy this is. All right, it's easy as 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm going to go to my development environment. I'm going to go to plugins. You can see all my plugins I'm working on, folks. It's a lot. All right, so plugins. I'm going to go to installed plugins. You're thinking, oh, we didn't even install it yet. Look, you did install it because, you're working on something and you're updating it in the plugins directory, right? So, okay. Look at this. There is. That's weird. Okay. That's weird. New version of Hello World available. Hold on, I don't know what's going on. Just a second. Zero point 0. Hold on. I may have had a previous version called Hello World. Alright, hold on. I might have to. I don't know what I'm going to do. Hold on. I might have to make this Hello World 1. Alright, let's just fix that. Activate. Plugin activated. Alright, now let's check the footer and let's see if we have our Hello World text. Let me see. I'm looking for it. Okay. I don't know if that worked. Uh-oh. That's not good. Hold on. Let's see. Let's see. I'm gonna do header. I like the header better for this. But I think it's almost working. Here, actually, let's do something different. Alright, because it's boring hello world. Let's not do echo. Alright, I changed it up a little bit for the script. Sometimes I need to do that. Problem solving is the best trait for a developer. Alright. Alright, let's have our friend AI help us. Let's say, again, I know how to do this, but let's say I didn't know how to do this. So I'm going to say make a admin notice hello world. Okay. Right, Brace? Okay. Then I'm going to have it fix my code. I'm trying to do this to race against time. Oh, it's WP underscore head. Great. So let's see if this works. Uh-oh. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to, like, do this real quick. Okay, fine. Footer. Oh, wait. Let me check my code one more time. Hold on. Alright, hold on. I'm having an error. I gotta fix this. Hold on. Alright, I'm doing this really quick. Oh. Parenthesis. Hold on. Like I said, I normally wouldn't be in such a hurry, but... What's going on here? Fix this. Alright. So let's go with our original code here that I had written out. We had a little issue, and didn't work all that great. So let's fix this. I'm going to explain what happened in a minute. I'm going to explain what happened in a minute. See, this is why I should have just used the code I planned out, but I don't think. I don't think before I do things sometime. Alright, all pages, let's go to my pages. Look at that! Hello world! Alright, you made your page. Sorry, you made your hello world on the bottom of each page. So that's called what the footer is, right? That's why I said you make an action on each page, because it's an action of, it's inserting something, or it's deleting something, or it's, I don't know, it's doing something. There's also filters we'll talk about later. So you made a plugin. A plugin? Oh boy, that's going to be an outtake for the record books. You made a plugin. Let's do a little rewind before my battery decides to rewind itself to the charger. Alright, so let's look at it. Remember we opened up our PHP tags. Actually, I'm going to show you guys what happens if you don't have PHP tags. Oh, it's going to be ugly. Open up your PHP tags. You have your header. Remember we have plugin name, hello world. Description, display hello world. Version 1.0. Your name is the author. Of course, you want to change that. You end the comment, so /. Hello world, hello underscore world underscore message. Echo less P greater. Remember, you have all the styling. Of course, in a real application, you want to do the styling in a CSS style sheet. I'll talk about that later. Right, Brace? add underscore action, WP footer, hello underscore world underscore message. Look, if that would seem confusing, right after the stream, I'm going to be putting up all the code on GitHub. Feel free to download the code, mess around. For all I know, break it. I want you guys to learn, so whatever it takes to do that, please, 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 I don't know, just break the code, try to fix it, even try to add more to it. Maybe you add like, hello, my name is Taylor. I don't know, do something in that effect, right? Any questions? Let's go. Questions, any thoughts, anything? Before the battery decides to die? Anything? If not, I think this has been a great stream. I've enjoyed it. I feel like it's been amazing. And we're going to be doing a lot more of these. So you guys are just going to have to follow me because, well, for one thing, I'm almost to 25 followers and I'm trying to get to 50. But for two, I don't think you want to miss all this amazing content. Also, I don't know, but you really should go follow Michael Dowies because he has some really, really great content for like gaming and relaxing. More streams like this. All right, Michael. Well, that'd be great. If you tell all your friends about it, tell everybody you know. I love it. Of course, I'm really enjoying this. And if you have any specific requests, if you want to figure out how to break my code, I don't know, just tell me what you want. But I really think my battery is trying to run me down to the charger, and I think my time is limited on this earth with this battery. So I better go figure out a charger. And you guys have a wonderful night. Let me know if you guys love this, and please, 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 download the code on GitHub, break it, do whatever you need to do to learn this, because we're going to be having a fun journey ahead. And by the way, a surprise in store, real quick before the battery dies. Eventually, you guys are going to be getting a plugin, and we're going to be remediating an inaccessible plugin on stream. I'll be showing you guys how to do that. So, be looking forward to that. And accessibility people, plugin people, everybody wants to join this stream, because even if you have anything with WordPress, anything, this is going to be an amazing time learning plugin development. All right, everyone, I better go find a charger before it decides to die, and I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Stay safe, stay healthy, everything like that. And if you haven't followed me, please do that. And I'm going to also be posting the recording as well. So have a wonderful night, and we will talk soon.